You're gonna need to brave heart.
I'm sorry I hit you.
All right. Make a. What's the charisma one? Damn it.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Well, there's
Performance?
persuasion, intimidation, performance.
Yeah, it's not really a performance. Let's say
I'm
persuasion.
performing a smile.
You're trying to persuade her that you
There
mean
we
no
go.
harm.
Oh,
Jeez.
Wow.
Wow, well done. These rolls are coming out.
Yep. So she sort of very gingerly reaches out to your hand, and your hand dwarfs hers, and you sort of can just like close your entire hand around hers, and there's room to spare, and you sort of gently hoist her up to her feet, and she sort of puts her hand up to her face where you backhanded her. A little bit of a bruise starting to show, but having a look at her, they are all fairly dotted with bruises.
Okay. I can help you escape if you want to.
Oh, I know the door's there, but they know these hills. They'll find us. The direwolves will get us.
This is why we have to fight back. Fight and you may die. Run and you will live, at least a while. And dying in your bed, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day for that one chance? One chance to come back here and tell your enemies that they may take your life, but they will not take your freedom.
That's more like it.
She sort of like looks around at the other ogres in this room.
That'd be a performance.
Yeah, I'd say that's
that's part of the persuasion.
that's part of your persuasion. Like,
Oh my god!
they're all
Of blue paint appears on his face.
they're all listening to you.
Who needs bards when you have a Goliath barbarian?
Yep, apparently. They're all listening to you very intently. Yeah, hope is not something that they have commonly, so this is very unfamiliar to them.
The faint sound of bagpipes drifts through the woods.
For a
Oh,
second, it almost
no.
looks like Sugo's got half his face painted blue. Just for a split second.
I could have actually selected bagpipes as an instrument, but I picked a war gum.
Damn it.
Yeah, so I mean, as inspiring as this speech is, fear also was in them. And she seems very hesitant, like she understands what you're saying and doesn't know whether to believe you or not from what you can see.
Well, and then I say, gather all your people in here, and together you can fight for your freedom. I will be back soon. And then, because I feel like we've exhausted everything in here. So
Yep.
I'll tell them that and then go check out this room here.
Okie dokie. Are you following through, Impy Boy?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
So's Belch Bag. Takes one last desperate lick trying to get the pie crust up and disappointedly
you.
leaves it.
So as you open this door, there appear to be hold on. I need to move some things.
Isn't this where the other giant went?
Nope.
No, he went straight down, which is why I'm assuming like these middle doors are a hallway.
Oh, he went
All
through the double
I think all the
doors.
double doors
He
are
did.
hallways.
Oh, okay.
So
There's something in here.
is this. So this is a fairly sizable hallway. It's messy and smelly, much like the rest of this place so far. And there appear to be pallets laid around the room and some junk sort of strewn around the place. You can see two slaves on their pallets that do not get up when you come in and are sort of, a little bit out of it. So just
Are
sort
they
of,
lying down like prone, or are they doing something?
they are lying down.
Okay. So
And do you mean slaves as in ogres?
No, so you're still 30 feet away, but from what you can see, these appear smaller than the ogres.
all right, so I'll walk up to them,
So
have a
something
look at them. Like,
Mhm.
what are they? What do we see?
They are greenskins, so orcs.
Ooh.
Work.
And one of
That's
them,
probably what they're here for. Yeah.
one of them sort of rouses slightly. You hear him. What is it, sir?
What are you doing in here?
Recovering.
Recovering from what?
Make a perception check, the lot of you.
Unless he's putting on performance, Sugo struggles.
You rolled a performance check, not perception.
Did I?
Yep.
No, I rolled.
Yep.
Oh,
No,
whoops.
you rolled
No,
one.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my God.
So having a look at the guy, you can see that he's had his arm broken and potentially the way he's breathing, ribs appear to also be broken. So he is, bedridden while he's recovering.
And what about the other dude?
Sort of similar. He sort of like rolls over and looks at you. He's got a massive bruise on the side of his face and he's missing a few teeth. But they try not to show their pain in that. Putting on a face of bravery.
So is this like an infirmary for the slaves or some shit from what I'm meant to gather?
From what you can see, there's more beds than that. So this might be where the orcs hide out.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
think you
their
really
common room.
tend to the wounds of slave labor. You just kind of bury them and keep going.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is this where they put like the injured slaves?
No,
That's
this
what I
this
meant,
appears to be like there are a lot of empty beds. So
Right. So it's just like a room for the orcs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Note that the ogres had some form of bed. These guys are on pallets. So
Yeah.
But-
Right.
They do appear to like be slaves, right? Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
from what you could see, yes.
And I whisper to them, "Do you want to be free?"
Free. Is that? Oh, is that an option?
I can help you
Wait.
be free.
I don't recognize you.
And I put my finger up to my lips. Shh. Shh. They don't want you. I don't want you to hear them.
And they sort of like one raises his head and looks at the other one, and they're like, you can see in their eyes that sort of hope that the ogres were fighting against these orcs are more receptive to. Ow, pretty busted up.
I have come here to free from these giants.
Well, like they start sort of whispering because what they're talking about would probably get them killed if a giant heard this. They're sort of like, oh, well, I mean, there's plenty more of us in the dungeons, but I mean, what can we do?
Is there any sort of secret phrase you tell each other to not get in trouble?
No, most of the orcs are. And he coughs out a bit of blood. And the other guy sort of takes over. Most of the orcs, well, we look after each other where we can.
If anybody else comes here, you tell them that you will be saved. And I like turn around to Belchbag and like sort of whisper to him. The orcs obviously think I'm crazy. Should we tell them where the others are hiding?
To Belchbag?
Wait, other who?
Like our party.
Oh,
Like send the orcs there, like so we can like amass this tiny little army to fight. They're just cannon fodder essentially, but you know.
Yeah,
Where we
not a bad
may-
idea. Here, you two, have these.
and a little voice says out of the air, and a
They're sort of
healing
like
potion.
looking around.
A healing potion drops at the feet of each orc.
out of thin air, these vials drop onto their pallet next to them, and they're sort of like,
Remember,
what?
he may only seem like one giant, but he has powerful friends.
This little voice out of just thin air.
The one on the left side of the room is sort of like, what the hell was that? And then the other one's like, that wasn't me.
Those visible stink lines are talking.
Belchbag's like a fairy godmother.
What do? This was my friend. He bring you gift. You drink.
Why can't I see him?
He is magical, man. Sugo no understand, but he here.
Sugo, well, nice to meet you. Just know that the orcs, like, you can hail them as friends. We don't want to be here. The ogres are a little more under their thumb, but us orcs, we tried to rebel, and there's something going on in the dungeons, so we heard, but there's not much we can do against giants.
What is going on in the dungeon?
They sort of mentioned, and then across the room the other guy goes, rebellion.
I see.
Rebellion against who?
The giants. They are oppressive and violent, and we want to be free.
Sugo can help you free, but what you must do is gather all the orc around here, and you take them to the room next to here. We have friend sitting on bench where the bedroom is. You know what I mean?
We don't really go past these doors. The wolves will eat us on sight.
The wolves are outside. Do not worry.
We've taken care of the wolves.
That's really creepy, just so you know.
Oh, you get used to the smell. Do not worry.
And the one that's closer sort of like shivers. But they sort of reach out and grab these potions and you can see the far guy's bruise sort of just heals over immediately. His teeth don't come back, but he's sort of, oh wow, that actually did the trick. I feel right to go. Where do you want us to go?
There is a big room next to this one. You go out the door, and then there is another room. Other way, to the right. You open up those doors, and we have friends in there.
Oh, all right. So past the wolves. You sure there's no wolves there?
There are no wolves. They are all outside now.
I don't want to die.
But I want you to get all the orc friends you can without looking suspicious, and take them over there.
Okay. All right. We'll go there. And they sort of get out of bed, kind of surprised that their wounds are healed immediately. That's much better than waiting for a few weeks to see if I die.
If you're still worried, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And 2 hatchets just fall out of the air at their feet.
Beautiful.
Couple of 2 hand axes.
We're not normally allowed weaponry, but thank you, thank you, mysterious ghost thing, whatever you are. Thank you.
Ghost of Stinkline's past.
Call me the Almighty Bee.
All right. He sort of bows his head a little. The Almighty Bee. You have great and wondrous powers. We will spread the word as best we can.
Excellent. I will see you soon.
All right. And so they get up, looking at each other, just sort of like one punches the other in the arm, and he's fine. And they make their way through the doorway. And the door stays open. Assuming that you follow them out.
Yeah, Belchbag looks at the
Sorry.
corner where he thinks that Zulu is, but is in a completely different corner, and just goes,
Couple of allies coming your way, Radot.
All right, so I'm going to like mentally tell Zulu to just keep an eye on Sugo.
Okay.
And I'm going to unwarg and just kind of like poke my head out the door here, and when I see these orcs, I'll wave them over.
Okay. So as you poke your head out the door, make a perception check.
Yep.
and I've just stuck my head out this door here to make sure that the ogres don't give them any trouble.
Yep. So the ogres sort of like, they don't take any notice of the orcs. It's fairly commonplace that the higher up in the sort of ordning, the less they care.
Out there, right?
Sorry?
The orcs said they don't go out that way, right?
Yeah, they don't normally go out that way.
So that would surely like bring up some sort of attention with the.
How else do they go out? Because there's
Down this
only
main
the
hallway, I
one.
think.
There's
Out
only
that
one.
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So you're watching as you sort of follow them through the doorway, and the ogres are like seeing what's happening, but they're, turning a blind eye or ignoring it as best they can. based off what you told them, they are not intervening or doing anything mischievous from what you can see. Oh, that's better.
Nice.
Sorry, you rolled a 19. So as you poke your head out the door, you hear a very faint sort of sound. And you can hear at the door that you bound shut, it sounds like scratching at the doors. That's you,
Or
Fredor.
where the yellow is on the
Correct.
Yeah, they're back.
Yep.
Is that like the dog scratching at the door,
Mhm.
essentially?
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully our thing should hold.
Well, I mean, yeah, like they're not gonna. Should we seal this other door if, if they know where all the entrances are? I mean, they're gonna try the next door eventually.
My only thing is if we seal that door, then we've also sealed all our exits.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take. I mean, like if we were trying to escape in a hurry, I assume it wouldn't take more than a weapon attack on the rope to get us moving.
Yep. That shouldn't take more than that.
Yeah, like I feel like that's a pretty reasonable trade-off to keep 10 or 7 dire wolves outside.
Okay, so as you're talking, the orc sort of very cautiously pushed the door open. And the first one looks around, and he can't quite see you just yet, based on that sort of vision range. He, having not been over this side, hello.
I'll take a few steps out and kind of hold my finger up to my mouth to kind of keep them quiet and just wave them over.
There you go. Oh, yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, there aren't any wolves. Let's go. And so they sort of go out, sort of hefting these hatchets to get a feel for them. And you can hear the scratching at the door up here intensifying a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to quickly run to that other door and tie that up
Okay.
with my last rope.
Yep. So you crunch your way across the room through the bones. Make a dexterity check, and the orcs sort of make
The
their way
exact
to you.
same knot as the other one.
You're like, there we go.
Replicate these flawlessly.
Perfect. And so they sort of follow you in as you wrap up, and they sort of jump a little bit, seeing Aurelian come back around the corner.
He's with us.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And I'm gonna hand them a crowbar, and I'm gonna walk them over to this square here,
Okay.
which I think is where we buried the spears and
Yep.
shields.
That is correct.
And I'm just gonna say, dig here. You'll find spears and shields, better weapons than those axes for the fight that's to come.
Those giant-sized weapons?
They are bloody massive. They would be. It'd be like wielding something 2 times your height.
Yeah, like they could use a spear
okay,
as a battering
fair.
ram, kind of, but other than that, they're probably better off with the hatchets, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you think about the size of a normal spear, it's what, 3/4 to.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Were there some like daggers that they would be like a
No,
sword for?
these are all giant sized.
But that's what I mean. Like, is there smaller weapons that'd be normal size, like a like Sting in Lord of the Rings is a giant's knife?
No, from what you saw, spears,
all
clubs,
spears
and
and
shields that
Yeah,
are
okay.
I
bloody
mean, like,
huge.
what's his name might have a letter opener in his office or whatever. But other than that,
All right. Scratch the crowbar and the order to dig there.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
just
you
tell
sort
them
of
to, sit down at the table.
follow that train of thought, and you're like, might be a problem.
I'd like
Never
to,
mind.
once these orcs are in here, I'd like to start questioning them a little bit.
And so they come in. What are you guys doing over here, by the way?
Well, I was planning on going out here and then telling them see that, but I guess we'll just go with what they're doing first.
Yeah, sure.
Since it's been the Suga show and belch bags.
Yeah. I'm just making sure, like, where you are is where you are. Cool.
Yeah, back in here. Belch bag's gone back to the pie crust.
Yep, he's scrabbling around under the table. And you finally make a dexterity check, a tongue dexterity check.
Surely with advantage, it is belch bag.
Yeah, you're
He
pretty.
has a lot of
There's
experience.
a lot of experience doing
Yeah,
this.
I'll give you advantage. Go on. It's sort of
Experience
like
doesn't translate to wisdom, though.
it's sort
Just
of
right in there.
it's wedged like underneath the bench, and you're trying to move this big bench, and your form, while invisible, trying not to make too much noise. And sort of a little bit snaps off, but the rest is still underneath this big bench.
Am I seeing like tongue tracks just on the floor?
That one part of the floor is very clean.
Yeah, spit
There's
polished.
like a 2 centimeter square that is like licked, shining clean.
Ladies.
Yeah. All right. So meanwhile, back in the other room, Aurelian, you said you wanted to talk to the orcs.
Indeedy. Hi, are your wounds fully, are you okay? You're not going to drop dead on us any minute now?
They're sort of like stretching. Actually, I feel better than I've felt in a couple of days.
Alright, good, that'll do. How many other orcs are there in the dungeons, in the basement? Or in the slave workforce in total?
Oh,
To your
geez.
best guess.
In the dungeons, I wouldn't have a clue. I don't go down there. But up here, maybe 20, 30.
That's a lot. That's good. How do they control you? Is it just the whipping, or do they have other guards, or...
Whipping? They don't use whips. They, fists. All it takes is one punch if we step out of line. And as you could, you didn't see, but me and Gareth here, we were bedridden from a single punch. So there doesn't need to be more threat than that.
Fair enough.
They're,
Have you
they're sort
ever-
of looking around the room because they haven't been in here. Are you sure there's no one here? Like,
Oh, we're quite certain.
okay. And they
Have you...
sorry, just while you're talking to them, they turn to this corner, like the door was sort of hiding. You've run off, and you're just sort of leaning against the corner, braids running down your shoulders, just looking at them from the corner. And the more skittish of the two, Gareth, turns around. Oh shit! Where did you come from?
Except for him, of course.
How long have you fools been enslaved here?
Well, it's been a good few years. I can't speak for Gareth, but yeah, we get dragged in from our homes pretty much and forced to work here until we're beaten to death or
What do they have you doing?
menial crap, really. Our families are dead, so there's not much to live for. They break your spirit and then get you to clean their hovel of a place. And Gareth's sort of like, I hate cooking, but they make me cook.
It's alright, you can learn to love it. How difficult, if at all, would it be for you to go to the other greenskins on this floor and spread a message? Could you do that inconspicuously?
Gary could probably go there. It'd depend on what's going on in the kitchen. There's a handful in there. There's a couple others around the place, but I don't overly know where everyone is at any time. But I mean,
Okay,
we
so-
could
but-
definitely spread the word.
Okay. But it's only the kitchens where you're a little concerned they might recognize you or something.
Well, Gary's allowed in there, but I probably
Alright.
shouldn't be seen in that one. I mainly
Okay.
clean rooms and stuff.
Alright. Stay here with us for now, and we'll call on you. In fact, there's some beds in those rooms back there if you wanted to catch a little more rest while we figure out what's going on.
It's daylight. I can't really sleep, but
You're
all
gonna
right.
need all the energy you've got, but it's up to you.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about rebellion, I suppose.
Indeed, I am.
Suppose we should go get a kippe, Gary. And Garrett's like, yeah, I guess. Which door?
Take your pick.
Gareth just sort of stands there, and old mate, we'll go in this one. I mean, we'll spread the word though. Sound good?
Yes, but don't start anything yet. We'll formulate a solid strategy with you later, but it's okay to pass on the message for people to start getting ready for something to happen, yeah, in the vein of rebellion.
All right. Well, like a from like stories I've read, is this like, should there be like a code word or something?
Yeah, we're thinking something like that. But yeah,
How will we know when to start? I guess is what I need to know.
Well, yeah, we'll work that out with the others, and before Gary heads off, we'll communicate that to him.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Creepy dude in the corner. Thanks.
As they kind of go into their room,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna like shake my head at Aurelian and just say like, "Fools think cleaning and cooking is being a slave. Those fools wouldn't know a slave if it hit them in the face."
Well, we can only draw from our own experiences, and the worst days they've had could be the best days of some others, but all the same, we shouldn't judge them too harshly for feeling miserable for being, well, enslaved.
He'll just kind of do a gruff little exhale out of his nose holes.
Yep. All right.
Peace be upon you.
So switching back to the others. So you're noticing that in the time that you went in and chatted to the orcs, they're sort of nearing the end of what they needed to clean up, and two of them are sort of standing there, like talking to each other, not suspiciously, just like low muttering. But there appears to be less to do in this room than they made it seem like.
Yeah. Where's the one I hit? Is it like still just chilling here?
No, she's sort of moved over to her bed
Jesus.
side. Yeah, they're sort of just like chatting away and then cleaning some stuff.
So I just sort of stand in the middle of the room and then like I point to the door. Did you see that Sugo came free?
Which door?
I point towards the door that like they just walked out, like that one up there.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
So one of the ogres is sort of one of the ones that's talking up here. Just sort of turns and says, "I did, but aren't they just gonna get, you know, flattened? Why are you working against the ogres? I mean the giants."
These giants need to be stopped. They are doing things they should not do.
Well, where's your steading? Like, what? You look like a hill giant.
I am a hill giant from the future where I see everybody living together in harmony.
Well, I mean, that does sound good, but harmony's not really what giants do. You know?
But you can be free, away from these people. You can live your own life.
I would like to garden. I always love making vegetables grow.
I just turn around, like, to where I think Belchbag is, because he's still invisible, yeah? Like, do you have a hole in your bag?
You sort of like break his attention away from trying to lick this pie crust out from underneath the benches.
Shovel's best I can do.
Ah, that'll do.
A shovel clanks into existence.
And they all sort of, oh, what?
And then I hand
What
the
was
shovel
that?
over to him, like, you can be gardener now if you want to.
Where did that come from?
Ah, don't worry about it. I have friends.
Oh, and what?
Powerful friends.
They're all sort of looking around fearfully. Ooh.
Can I be like, sort of, each time I say, like, I'll like drop the shovel and then sort of scuttle over here, so then the voice is coming from over there when I go,
Powerful
They're
friends.
sort of looking around. Oh, I don't know what's happening.
scuttle over here.
Ooh. One of the females that this guy was talking to sort of like huddles up behind him a bit. I don't know what's happening.
The one that I hit, I'm gonna walk over to, and I'm gonna give them one of my potions of healing.
Over there, yep.
Yep.
She sort of like winces back a little bit as you approach her, sort of in a defensive sort of way.
Sugo, sorry I hit you. You can take this. Drink.
She reaches out a hand and takes it. What is it?
Oh, it will make you feel very good.
Oh.
Take a drink.
It doesn't smell bad. And the little bruise on the side of her face sort of fades out, and yeah, she sort of looks around. Oh, that was amazing. What was that?
Sugo just like gently like reaches out and like puts his hand on the cheek where the bruise was. Sugo can free you if you trust me.
Hey, what do I do?
You have to find every ogre you can see, and you can tell them that you will be free, but you have to be very quiet because the giants can kill you. And then you take them to your room. We have Orc, we have friend in there. We can help you.
All right.
You just have to be brave, and the little garden with the big carrots can be all yours.
You see a little grin sort of go across his face. I don't really understand what's happening, but if you're offering a garden, I'm in. And then
I need to understand. Just think of the carrots. Celery, if you like it.
and
Sugo do like turnip.
There.
the one behind him is sort of just like, yeah, all right, let's do it. So yeah, that you seem to sort of break through to him with that act of kindness, and well, like now, do you want us to go now?
Try not to be too suspicious. Make it look like you're doing your work. And then you can get to your friends. And you tell them secret. And we will uprise.
Okay. Well, let's go. And so, they all start making their way towards the doors.
Not all of you. You need to make it look like you're still doing work. So a couple of you stay here.
oh yeah, that's a good point. And so two sort of flop onto their bed, and they sort of stagger their exit. So you wait maybe 20 odd seconds, and then the second one goes, and then the third one.
And then I guess we will be back soon.
I remember you.